ENCOR Section 23 Summary Challenge. Network Analysis Tools. Which show command filter skips the output up to the first occurrence of the regular expression pattern? Okay, skips up to the first occurrence. So it skips everything before the match, right? And that has to be the begin option. So begin will show everything from that point all the way down. Which portion of the show interface command output indicates a congested interface? Output errors, output queue drops, input queue drops. That has to be output queue drops because there are queues for input and for output, and when interface puts a packet into the output queue, it is ready to send it out, but the connected link is not able to accept it yet, right? Because it may be busy sending previous packets. So that's why they are queuing up. And when drops are happening, that means that this queue became too large and it has to drop some packets out of the queue. So that has to be the answer. Which portion of the show interface command output indicates that a router received the information faster than the information could be processed by the router? So this is input queue drops as opposed to the previous question. So it's receiving and the packets keep coming in and they are queued by some internal process in the router is not able to cope with such a load and this speed of receiving packets, and it will have to put these packets into the input queue, and eventually this queue may overfill, right? And then some packets will be dropped. Which character in the output of a traceroute operation indicates that a packet is dropped because of a configured packet filter? I think this one is A. I'm not really sure about this, but I think this is A for administrative. Yeah, and I, U, H, I do not remember these options that well. Yeah, I will go with A. How is debug traffic processed on a Cisco IOS router when the packets are generated by the router out its local interfaces? Fast switch, process switched, Ceph switched, or ASIC switched? Okay, how is debug traffic processed on a router when the packets are generated by the router out its local interfaces? I think this is process switched because packets are generated by the router itself and it sends them out, and this definitely the central process should be involved, and these packets should be process switched. Which statement correctly describes the IP SLA responder? Okay, the responder can respond to multiple IP SLA measurement operations that try to connect to the same port number. Probably not sure about this. Maybe don't recall specifically. IP SLA operation with the responder has two phases: control and management. Probably not. There is no control management. The IP SLA source and responder communicate over TCP. This is definitely not correct. Different traffic may be sent, but I think communication happens over UDP. All IP SLA tests will only work if the IP SLA responder is used. No, this is not correct. So there are some tests which will work without the responder. For example, a simple ping test. But responder on the destination, if we enable the responder on the destination, it will enable some additional tests like a jitter and maybe some others, right? So it would listen the proper ports, there's some control involved, and things like that. So I have to choose between these two options, the first and the second. Again, IP SLA operation with the responder has two phases, control and management. I think there is definitely some control happening. How control is different from management, I don't know. I don't like this option too much, to be honest. The responder can respond to multiple IP SLA measurement operations that try to connect to the same port number. Well, I think this is a good option, right? That should be the answer. I hope it is, right? I hope the same port number can do that. Assume the far-end device is correctly configured. Which command is missing from having a complete IP SLA ICMP echo configuration after pasting it into the CLI of the device? Okay, which command is missing from having to complete IP configuration, IP SLA configuration? Okay, missing command here, ICMP echo. Oh, okay, so a very simple question actually. IP SLA and then number, right? So this is the correct answer. This line plus this line just beneath it, that basically creates an IP SLA, what's it called, item, right? So, and this number 33 is the number of the SLA created. And then we, with the IP SLA schedule command, we turn on this SLA. In this case, we turn it on forever until we explicitly disable it, and to start right now. So yeah, that's the syntax.